Hello, I'm glad to be here with you. My name is Victor, and today we will be talking about education and how it can learn from innovation and the startup businesses. You have my email there. I'll be more than happy to be in contact with anybody that wants to talk about this subject, which is my life. Well, uh, you will see something on the next slide about I'm also a professor, so you see something about academics and places where I worked or was a visiting professor. Right now, I work with SIBE, which School of International Business and Entrepreneurship, called Stuyvesant University. It's colleague with Berlin University. Um, well, I'll tell you a story. I want to, because you're here, I think you might be interested on how I get here and why am I talking about this subject. I was on technical school and I was supposed to be an internee and I find an internship on a place called Places to. It was a travel agency and its name was Places, and Places was like a regular store where the client goes in and pick or choose the product or service he wants, pays for it, and then goes on. Well, we invented the we we actually launched one of the first travel e-commerces in Brazil, which was places.com.br. Well, you might thinking about people getting their e-tickets and going to travel. Well, that's not true because the whole system needed to be changed. The whole thing needed to be changed. And why is that? Um, that's because most of Brazilian people didn't have their business card, their credit card, and even if they had, they were not up to use online on 1997. So what happened? I sold my shares and I was lucky because right after that, Viajo.com came to Brazil and almost broke the company. The company already exists, it exits the market, but was a very interesting case at the time. From there, I started internet access provider called BS2. It is still working. Actually, it's from the country area of my state here in Brazil. They work with cloud computing. It was really fun, and then from there, I get to work on with Copel, which is a power plant company in south of Brazil, and and it was great because it is really organized. But I needed to learn how to speak English, and then I'm still trying. But I ended working with Mohegan Sun, which is at the time was the second largest hotel casino in the world in Connecticut, United States, and it was one unbelievable learning. Why? Because it's a massive entrepreneur. It's a massive environment that was built from nothing. Actually, they had to detoxicate the land because it was toxical at the point, and then they built one of the biggest casinos in the world, right in between Boston and New York, in a very rich area. So I learned a lot with that experience. So I went to stay 3 months. It ended to be extended for almost 2 years, of course, legally. And when I came back, I worked with Gelopar in Paraná. They work with Glassdoor merchandise machine, and my job evolved to attempt Coca-Cola, Heineken, and one Ambev. What I learned from there was the importance of the key account management. Then in 2007, we launched in Curitiba City, Lince Criativa, one of the first online agencies, web market agencies on south of Brazil. We are fortunate to be to be so our clients didn't have a lot of options, and we could do very interesting campaigns such as Intelbras on national market. When we say national markets in Brazil, we are saying about the continent. So you can have an idea, the whole European continent with the United Kingdom and everything could fit inside of Brazil, with the sea included. So Brazil is a very large country. If you are running country large campaigns, this is a good KPI. But I have a back problem. I had to do a very serious surgery, and after that, I became a professor on Positivo University. And in 2013, I was kind of far away from innovation for a while. I was on web market, but not inside innovation anymore. And then I get to know hackathons, and we built it. We launched one of the very first hackathons in Brazil, certainly the very first hackathon in Curitiba City, our town, in 2013 with Positivo University, and the biggest edition at the time of the startup weekend in 2014. 2016, I went to work in United States with Aloha of America, which was a great opportunity, and we did international business with few big and medium players among the world, especially connecting United States with Latin America. Is the business specialization, but that mean a dream to me. Why is that? Because I don't know since when, but I always wanted to have an international career. I was living in Florida. My job was to connect with people all over the country. This is some of the clients. We had constant personal and online contact. And then I'm sorry, I couldn't translate that. I forgot to translate two slides. Did you know Matthew? Well, Matthew was a massive hurricane. It was supposed to go to the sea, but it ended on the land, in Florida land, right on the center of that, where Orlando is. I live in Brazil. We don't have many natural disasters. We do have other kind of disasters, but natural is not common. Not that to reach people. So it was a surprise to me. I don't know if you have ever been in a hurricane, but at the same time, all the phones receive a message: a hurricane class 4, 5, 3. I don't know. It's going on your direction. Find a place to be safe. I've never seen it, so I don't know how to get safe. First thing that happens, like 40 minutes after, you can't find gas. It's all empty. Few hours later, maybe 2, 3, 4 hours, you go to the supermarket and is empty. What you see here, it's empty boxes. And then you go home. You must have water and you must be have food. Well, I couldn't find many diversity, so I bought 2 cans of candy. And then you are supposed to have a lamp. I didn't have it. Well, if you go to Maslow triangle, a lamp, it's a physiological need. That means you might die if you need. It's like wearing lifesavers on a boat trip. It's not comfortable. You don't want to have it. You don't want to use it. But if you fall out of the ship, I'm sure, I bet you want to have one of those. So you probably won't use the lamp, but you need to have it. What can I do? Well, why did I ask myself, what can I do? Uh, I thought, well, I'll go to Amazon. My mother will call me when she discovered that a hurricane is passing by, and I'll be able to say, well, I bought everything. I did everything I could, so I'm safe, man. Well, I went to Amazon and I bought a lamp, a good one. My mother saw on the news in Brazil about the hurricane. She called me and I said, "Hey, I'm safe. I have everything. I bought everything. I spent every penny I could to be safe. To be safe." Well, certainly the lamp wouldn't arrive, and I went back to work. We did a meeting, online meeting, and life goes on, such as this event, right? And the hurricane is still growing up. We had the lockdown, so the COVID is not my first lockdown, uh, and I was still without a lamp. Then I received an email from Amazon, which was not this one. The email said, well, we anticipated, I lost the original email. We anticipated some different kind of demand around you. Then you can find across the street from the delivery address direction a wardrobe. Inside of it, a small depot, a small warehouse, and you can find on the door number blah 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 a lamp. Thank you for choosing Amazon. Be safe. Well, I'm a professor on marketing and on business analytics, and I couldn't understand how precise, how to be so precise on a customer need, because they knew what I would need before I thought about that, before I could think about that. Well, Matthew fortunately went around the state, not through it. Of course, we had strong winds. A tree fall on a car in my condo, but we were safe. Nobody died, at least in the area I was. I hope nobody died across its route. But that's how Realize Hub was born. This is my company. We started as a chatbot company. We are no longer at this market, but now we help companies to transform itself. And we might do that with technology, such as artificial intelligence, and with techniques such as agile, such as innovation culture, such as innovation implementation, innovation investments, startup developing, and maybe training and spin-off planning. This is what we do. And because today is Saturday, not Friday, but Saturday, and I live in south of Brazil, so we love the barbecue. You must have heard from the Gaucho's barbecue. And if you are veggie, no problem. We will have veggies around. Okay. But who here is good on barbecue? I'm certain you have a friend which can bake a very good barbecue. Can be veggie, can be vegan, or a barbecue. All right, what do you need to do a barbecue? You need what you will bake: meat, fruits, vegetables, whatever, fire, and probably salt, right? Salt. And coa in order to do the fire. Well, if you are good on barbecue, you're supposed to get the fire done to light it up, right? What's your success rate on opening the container, the coa container by the rope? Well, I miss that every time. But why don't the coa has a easy open way? Well, I went for research on the coa factories that you can find around Paraná State, inside Paraná State, the state I live in Brazil. And by the third factory, I came back home. Why? Because the owner, who was very gentle to talk to me, they said, "Well, but it is easy. Well, you must find the right side of the rope, take a little knot out, and then take it off." Well, why that never changes? Well, those pictures might show you something. What you see on the left, you may say, "Well, I see a cube." What you see on the center? Well, I see a dog. What do you see on the right side? Well, I see a panda. Well, actually, you see some painted things, and then your brain covers the areas that your eyes don't see, and then you see a shape in there. And once you see a shape, it's kind of hard not to see it. Like this very famous picture from this elephant. How many legs does this elephant uh, have? Well, it's a good question. It's four. I never heard from five, but take care on the leg you're counting. Your brain, your eyes might be tricking your brain. What do you see first? Two faces or a glass? Well, the German school called Gestalt, they look after shapes and how do you take care of it inside of your brain, how you process that inside your head, your brain. Well, you see first what you want. So if you want a glass of wine, probably you saw the glass first. If you saw faces, maybe you want to see people, you want to interact. I don't know. I have a few other examples. Some of them might be very clever, such as these Melbourne Food and Wine Festival. What they are doing, they are enjoying this trend of your brain to connect things, and then they are mixing the bottle shape with few small bottle, and then you see a fork. It's very clever because it will help you remembering what you are seeing. It's like driving. It's like learning how to drive. It's kind of hard, but once you know it, you know it. But we should be talking about education and innovation process, such as design sprint, design thinking, agile. You must be thinking that. Am I wrong? I came for education thing here. What's happening? Well, I'll get to the point. Please believe me. Like Xerox. The year is, I'm not sure, but it's the end of the 1950s, right? They have a copy machine and it is really expensive. They know how to produce it. The competency is getting close, such as Sharp, Gradient, Kodak, and they think they need to learn how to 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 get to sell the machines. It is so expensive that only market like armies and governments and maybe huge huge universities could have it. They couldn't sell it. What they have done, it was a challenge. What challenge was it? Well, the challenge was uh, they changed it from industry to a service. What I mean? Well, they changed their business model. They went from a factory which sells products to a service model which sells every month her services. And it was a success for over 60 years. Actually, to do a copy, it's Synomics of Xerox in many countries and maybe continents around the world. LifeStraw is also a great example. It is a way to get water clean without chemicals, only with plastic and this kind of thing. Uh, how 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 do you buy it? It's about $7 on eBay, but how can you distribute that so people without uh, clean water access, fresh water access, can use it so they don't die without water? Well, people are using carbon credit to pay for that. I think that's clever. That's a way to see in a different way. Do you remember when I first introduced myself? I said I'm a professor. Well, when I became a professor in 2008, it was right before the crisis. I mean, the 2008 crisis, the subprime crisis. I remember hearing from Jean-Paul Trichet, I mean, in a chart such as this one. Uh, well, when the crisis came, our economic system immediately told us, I'm not protected enough. Well, this is different words. I'm remembering the way he thought. He was saying we need better tools to deal with economics to be safer. Well, I believe education now needs to reinvent itself. Why? Because when the COVID-19 came, the education business model, which was built in the century 12, immediately had problems. Professors nowadays are going crazy trying to get their kids and students on N level learning. But we are trying to teach in the same way we did in the past, presentially, but we are doing that online. I believe the school at this very moment has a lot to learn. I mean, schools and business schools and doctor degree programs, we are good on teaching. We're good on learning what we are going to teach. But we are kind of in a safe place because when the crisis come, It's kind of safe to be inside the academic environment. People will be paying their tuition, you get your salary paid, and it's kind of previsible. Like at the beginning of the year, here at the south hemisphere, uh, in February, it started classes. So you know when you need to start to advertise, you know when you have people attempting, you know how to classify it, and then you know how to serve it. But now it changed. And the education all over the world needs to rebuild itself because it is on the scratch. And if you are a professor, if you are a owner or a director, a DM, you must be thinking how. And this is why we came here. I think we must learn from it. This is how startups deal with failing. This is how startups deal with, well, I didn't find a way yet. Well, we had the way and we don't have it anymore, talking about education. And for this reason, we need to think about how. I believe we need to have inside academic, inside the business called education, an innovation sector for market proposals, not for research, not for clients, but for ourselves. We need to promote entrepreneurship. That means people being entrepreneurs inside the companies. Maybe that can guide you through a path that will take you for spin off, right? A new brand, or maybe it will make your brand stronger. Like Nestle, the brand, it's cheaper than Nescafé, and Nespresso, it's going up just as a rocket. I think you must use design thinking the way that designers think, so they get so creative. Agile culture, the waterfall chronogram does not work anymore. Design sprint, a week, and you can get new products, strong ones, innovative. And more than ever, school, must be close to the institutions, private ones, such as other schools, startups, and companies, and non-governmental, such as ONGs, and institutions such as governmental. Help them finding better ways to do businesses. Well, I'm very glad to get here with you. Those are my contacts. I'm in Brazil, so you have a +55 before the 41, right? And the phone number. So +55 41 99 201 0806. My email and my company's blog, which will be a pleasure to hear from you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer it.